Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about YouTube as a music production school. So let's try to answer the main question. Can you really learn music production out of YouTube? Well, as a quick answer, yes. Of course you can learn music production out of YouTube. But there is a couple of things to keep in mind if you want to get the best out of YouTube. So first of all, let's have a look to the main differences between YouTube and a dedicated school for a music production. Okay, so the first main difference is that when you go to a dedicated music production school, normally you are going to have an instructors or a teachers with a validated experience. As when you go to YouTube, then sometimes you don't know from where is coming this information and if this information is right. Okay, now the second main difference is that when you go to a school, usually you are going to have a program that have to be followed. As an example, let's imagine that you don't know anything about music production, but then you get enrolled to a course on a dedicated music production school. So you are going to learn one by one, first how to use a DAW, then how to manipulate sounds, how to use instruments, effects, basic concepts of mixing, mastering, etc. As when you go to YouTube, you don't have any type of a program to follow. You are just going to click random videos talking about different concepts. Okay? Now, the third main difference is that when you go to a school, usually you also have equipment to practice the lesson. As when you learn something from YouTube, you don't have any type of equipment unless you already have it at home or in your home studio. Okay? Now, the fourth main difference, which might be completely irrelevant to you, is that usually when you go to a music production school, you are gonna get a certificate or a title endorsed by the different brands in the industry, such as Ableton Live, Pro Tools, Cubase, Pioneer DJ, Denon, and sometimes even universities. Okay? Again, it might be something completely irrelevant to you. In my personal opinion, is completely irrelevant, as in the music production world is the end result. For example, if you are a music producer, the proof of your knowledge is going to be the music that you create. If you are a sound engineer, the proof of your knowledge is going to be the music that you mix or master, etc. Okay? And last, the main big difference between YouTube and a music production school is basically that YouTube is free and a music production school sometimes can be really expensive. Okay? So if you decide to learn music production out of YouTube, then I'm gonna give you my advice of how to get the best out of YouTube. Okay, so my first recommendation is that you create your own program. As I mentioned earlier, if you go to a school, you are going to have a program that have to be followed. So again, if you try to learn music production from YouTube, then create your own program. Let's put as an example that you are a beginner and you don't know anything about music production. So first, try to learn the DAW of your choice. Then try to learn how to manipulate samples and audio. Next, you can also learn how to use different instruments and effects. Then also learn basic concepts of mixing and mastering, etc., etc. Now, if you don't know how to create your own program, I'm going to give you two different options. The first one is to go to the website of one of these big music production schools, because usually they share the program of their courses. So simply write down the program of this course and then apply it through YouTube. Now, my second recommendation is to go to my channel, and in there I have a playlist which is called The Learning Curve of a Music Production. Now, on these three different videos, I explain how to create a sound from the beginner stage to a more advanced stage with a practical example, where I recommend what you should learn next in order to improve your knowledge as a music producer. So I'm gonna leave the link of this playlist on the description below. Okay, now my second recommendation is to practice every lesson before you continue with the following lessons. Okay, again, as an example, let's imagine that you don't know anything about music production. So first, try to learn the DAW. Go to YouTube, try to learn as much as you can of the DAW of your choice, and also practice all of these lessons. And be sure that before you jump to the next lesson, you already know how to use the DAW. Okay? Now, my third recommendation is to try to avoid clickbait content. Now, it's a common practice on YouTube to try to attract more viewers with fancy thumbnails and titles. Now, at the beginning, it might be a little bit hard to identify this type of content. So my recommendation is at first, try to avoid this type of content that says the only way or the best way to mix vocals, the only plugin that you need for a specific task, etc. Because that's far from reality. There is not a single way to mix vocals. There is not a single plugin that makes magic and makes your music sound better, etc. It all depends of the type of music that you made, the sound that you are looking for, and the knowledge that you have to use the different tools. So again, at first, it might be a little bit dangerous because you might be learning how to do the things in a wrong way. Okay? Now, it's completely up to you to decide which type of content is the right or wrong for you. Okay? And my last recommendation is that you never stop learning. Even though you already have the knowledge to create music, there is always something new to learn. New instruments, new effects, and in short terms, new technology. So the music production journey is a never stop learning. Okay, so with this recommendation that I already gave you, now you can also mix both worlds. For example, you can enroll to a course on a dedicated music production school to learn the basics, how to use a DAW, basic concept of mixing, mastering, use different instruments, etc. And then you can continue learning and improving your skill out of YouTube. Okay, so that's all for me. I wish you the best on your journey as a music producer. Hope you like and learn something from this video. If you have any question, please leave a comment below. Thank you very much for watching. My name is JonHut and I will see you in the next one.